Welcome back on this Tuesday. We are continuing with Exodus chapter 27. Once again, read it through. I'm going to read it in a couple of different places, but then we're going to, I'll stop in between and talk about some of that. But I want you to read it through before we start so that you get an understanding of the bigger picture that we're going to be looking at. Let's begin with verse 1. You shall make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be square, and the height shall be 3 cubits. And you shall make horns for it on its 4 corners. Its horns shall be of one piece with it, and you shall overlay it with bronze. You shall make pots for it to receive its ashes, and shovels, and basins, and forks, and fire pans. You shall make all the utensils of bronze, and you shall make it for it a grating, a network of bronze. And on the net you shall make 4 bronze rings at the 4 corners. And you shall set it under the ledge of the altar, so that the net extends halfway down the altar. And you shall make poles for the altar, poles of acacia wood, and overlay them with bronze. And the poles shall be put through the rings, so that the poles are on the 2 sides of the altar when it is carried. You shall make it hollow with boards, as it has been shown on the mountain, so it shall be made. First picture I want to show is that an artist rendition of what the altar would look like. The size of the altar, 5 cubits long and broad, that would be about 7.5 feet square. The height is 3 cubits, or about 4.5 feet. So it is not all bronze. It is wood overlaid with bronze. Why is it that way? To make it lighter, because remember, they're carrying this all around the desert as they're going to the promised land. And then 40 years when they refuse to obey God. The altar is very important. It is where the sacrifices would be offered to the Lord, foreshadowing the great sacrifice that was made by Jesus, not on the altar, but on the wood of the cross. Again, the detail that he gives is pretty amazing in this. Let's move on to the court of the tabernacle, verse 9. You shall make the court of the tabernacle, verse 18. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, the breadth 50, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twisted linen and bases of bronze, all the utensils of the tabernacle for every use, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be bronze. Verse 20. You shall command the people of Israel that they bring to you pure beaten olive oil for the light, that a lamp may regularly be set up to burn in the tent of the meeting outside the veil that is before the testimony. Aaron and his sons shall tend it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever to be observed throughout their generations by the people of Israel. So they were to make the court. First of all, we're focusing on that. It said it is 100 cubits. That's 150 feet, 50 yards on one side, 25 yards or 75 feet for the breadth. So it's a rather large courtyard. The height of the curtain that makes the courtyard is 5 cubits or 7.5 feet, so that people couldn't peek over to see what was going on, because it was set apart as a place for worship of the Lord, to offer sacrifices and for the priest to do their duties. The other part is the light. The lamp that was to be burning continually, that it would be filled with beaten olive oil that the people would donate so that this would happen. So why all the detail? Well, it's important, partially because of this will foreshadow, this will be replaced by the temple. The temple foreshadows Jesus. Again, we talked yesterday about the holy place and the Holy of Holies, the most holy place, being separated by that curtain, how that curtain would be torn. It also is a reminder to us of the set apartness of God and his desire for us to worship him in truth and purity without the distractions of the world around us. Come back tomorrow. We're going to learn more about the priestly garments and more instructions that the Lord gives to Moses concerning the tabernacle. We'll talk to you then. God bless.